Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am Madals, and I have got some Heart of the Swarm action coming up today. It is going to be a PvP, so we should see Blinkstalkers, Mothership Cores, Robos, Colossi maybe, who knows. All I know is that it should be great. Let me introduce these two players who have spawned on Aquilon Wastes. In the bottom right position as the blue Protoss. Actually no, let's get this right. In the bottom right position as the red Protoss, we do have CJ herO. And his opponent up in the top left as the blue Protoss, we do have from Team Dignitas, it is DreAm. So, Aquilon Waste, as I mentioned previously, it is a big map, but you know those proxy pylons, they can make a big map seem very, very little indeed. Blinkstalkers are good as they are in pretty much every PvP, whichever the map, and also it just means that, to be honest, we should be in store for some good action. So, what is PvP like at the moment? It all comes down to the Mothership Core, and you can do some cool things. You can get some photon overcharges to defend some bigger pushes, so you can be slightly greedier if you want. You can be a bit more aggressive with your pushes, because with our Mothership Core you can gain vision of the high ground. You might be saying, why is that important? It means because you've got a whole ton of Stalkers here, a force field on the ramp, you gain vision, you can start sniping away at sentries and things like that. Anything that may stray just a little bit too close to the edge of that ramp. So these are the sort of things that we have in store. All the mid-game shenanigans are still very, very viable. One of the biggest changes, though, in terms of things that I've seen is probably with the Void Ray. That makes a huge difference. The fact it does so much more damage to armored and has prismatic alignment. It just makes it really so much more impressive, to be honest. And it really adds into some nice 3-gate Stargate play. I mean, 3 gates with a good number of gateway units, plus a Mothership Core, plus 1-2 Void Ray pushes. Absolutely sublime, and really, really work very well against someone who is unprepared. If you can't snipe off that Void Ray, it'll be killing your Stalkers quicker than you know what happened. So, at the moment, for DreAm, we've got the double gas up with 2 workers in each. Meanwhile, for herO, we've got 3 workers in just 1 gas, so that means DreAm has slightly better gas income, not by too much though, just a little bit, about as we can see here, about 160 to 120, so not much of a change between them, but it will mean that over the minute, there'll be, as you saw, about 40 more gas for DreAm, which is good news for him, because he's getting up a second gateway, so some 2 gateway pressure coming in, waiting to see whether the Mothership Core comes up when that Cybernetics core finishes, because that's the thing that can be very, very interesting. You can get some great plays off of that, but we see Cybercorp is just completing now. There's enough money, or there will be, to start both Warpgate Tech, and it looks like a sentry's going to be coming out from DreAm, so not that Mothership Core yet. Takes 100 gas, obviously. Meanwhile, for herO, the second gateway as well. So, very similar strategies, except slightly different gas timings. It was obviously for DreAm, the 2 gas with 2 probes, now up to 3 in each, whereas from herO it was 3 in 1, and then the second gas getting up later, straight away with 3 probes in it. DreAm getting up his Mothership Core. God, I can't believe I keep forgetting the names of some units still. Like, it's one of those things where you get a bit of a mental block, and you're like, I know this. I've said it 100, 1,000 times already. But for some reason, the part of my brain that's like, that's what it's called, doesn't quite connect. And it's just like, oh, this is embarrassing. But anyway, DreAm getting up his Stargate. 2-gate Stargate, Mothership Core. Definitely could be some Void Rays. Definitely could be an Oracle if you want to try and be harassing. Phoenix, also still good. Phoenix battles are always fun in PvP, as we all know and love from Wings of Liberty. But for the time being, herO, not revealing anything as of yet, just getting up his Mothership Core. The 2 gateways down, Warpgate Tech is en route, and a proxy pylon is there. Meanwhile, as we can see here for DreAm, he's just staying a bit more defensive. He's staying at the top of his ramp, he's got a sentry there, and that sentry will allow him to wall off. He's buying time for this Stargate, and also now 2 additional gates, so this is pretty much a 1 base all in now. 4 gates plus a Stargate. You do not have the money to take an expansion. Meanwhile, down here for herO, he's banking up an awful lot of gas. And I'm talking a large, large amount of gas. But here comes the Void Ray, as I was talking about in the early game. And, well, the proxy pylon's down. We've got some more Stalkers coming in. But what is herO going to be using this gas for? Still got 300 gas banked up. Literally cannot spend it for the time being. But there we go. Stargate coming down just a lot later. So the Stargate's down. Still an awful lot of gas sitting there, though. So the Hallucinating Phoenix comes down, sees precisely what's there. A good number of Stalkers and the Mothership Core. But with a sentry, a force field can easily come down. The Void Ray about to come out as well. That's going to really deal a lot of damage there. So DreAm, he shouldn't be concerned. He should be feeling fairly comfortable, actually. And you know what? Why wouldn't you be? You're in a good spot. Everything should be working how you want. The mothership core just trying to bait it. There's a good little time warp, and that means the sentry wouldn't get forward enough to get the force down on the ramp. So great little play there, and we've got a bit of an engagement. But as you see, a counter time warp, not enough energy for a mass recall. Voidway is getting focused down, and that means that herO was able to deal a lot of damage there. The mothership core does die now for herO, but DreAm is still up, and DreAm does seem to be able to take a lot of damage, but he is able to push back these stalkers as well. With the time warp, the mothership core able to just start chasing them down, getting a couple more shots up. The zealots are really stopping them coming back on up in, but the problem is that one Voidway went down, both the stalkers went down, and the sentry went down, so big losses. If we actually look at the loss tab, DreAm lost quite a bit more than his opponents, so that is a bit of a problem. The zealots now, the Voidway trying to help as well. Another time warp goes down, and with that Voidway, the stalkers are going to get cleaned up, and that is great news. Prismatic alignment was used. If we look at the loss tab, we can see that now actually herO lost a bit more there, but does have an Oracle on its way out. A Phoenix coming up behind that. Meanwhile, just more Voidways. All DreAm wants is Voidways. He likes them. He's going to go and pick off that pylon. He's like, no more warp-ins at my side of the map. The natural base in production here for herO. No sign of a natural yet for DreAm because he's obviously on these 4 gates and Stargate we saw earlier, so is very all-inish at the moment. Needs to bring a probe though, and there it is. I was just having a look around, and apparently I'm just blind and didn't see it the first time. But now that proxy pylon is coming down, this natural base almost certain to get cancelled, because if your opponent is all in you, you're not going to be able to hold this, especially with so few units and just a couple of Phoenix. So DreAm really in a good spot right now. What is there out for herO at the moment? At least God, to be honest, one mothership core, one Oracle, and 2 sentries. The Oracle did come and try and do some damage, managed to kill 5 workers in total, but I don't think that's enough because as we can see here, herO, while he's got 9 more probes, there is a big push about to make ground at this natural base, pushing up the ramp. And what is herO going to do? Well, he's got hardly any units. He's got a couple of zealots. He has got a couple of Phoenix, but up against this force, this natural base almost certain to go down. You've got to really just sacrifice it, because what else are you going to be able to be capable of? In come the Phoenix. They are going to come and try and deal with these Voidway. But the Voidway desperately trying to use prismatic alignment. Unfortunately, apparently DreAm isn't aware that it only affects armor damage, not all damage, because otherwise that would be super strong. But with some stalkers warping in, that puts an end to it. A force field on the ramp. DreAm just going to be happy to knock out this natural nexus, because once that's dead, he knows he's going to be on equal basis as his opponent, and that his opponent has committed an awful lot to taking this, and is getting absolutely no benefit from it. It also buys time for DreAm to get another wave of warp-ins, as we're seeing now, just coming down. So this is a major problem at the moment for herO. As DreAm starts moving up, he's got enough energy as well for a mass recall and a couple of time warps, so that is good. Are we going to see that photon overcharge being used on the Nexus? And DreAm will fall back. You don't want to engage while that photon overcharge is active. That Zealot, unfortunately, is being bullied into the line of fire by his supposed friends. But as we're seeing now, the Stalkers trying to engage, trying to chip away at these gateways. As we also got just more warping towards that. It's coming down at the moment for herO. But ultimately, he's in a situation where he's got 2 gates warping in as opposed to 4 for DreAm, who's spending nearly all of his money very effectively. He's got more units coming up, a good Stalker count. The Mothership Core still active, the Voidway still active. No probes, everything else being cut, and just going in now. One of those gateways goes down. That's just only a single gateway now, and things are looking so good for DreAm. The photon overcharge is probably going to run out fairly shortly if my head works. And yep, there we go. So it is now just finished, and that means without that additional siege cannon nexus, you're not going to be able to do much more. The Mothership Core is trying to get focused by the Phoenix. The Voidway getting taken down as well, but as we can see, the Stalker's doing a great amount of damage to there, and there is the GG, and DreAm played very solidly there, showing us how effective that Voidway can be, and that was a quick, fun little PvP. So I hope you all enjoyed. Like the video, leave a cool comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see each and every one of you tomorrow for yet another new cast. Bye for now.